Surprised Sid didn't say once in this movie, "I'm so cold I could use my nose icicles as chopsticks." Ice Age, bruh, directed by Chris Wedge, and is the first installment in the now 5 parts Ice Age franchise, as well as Blue Sky Studios' first animated feature film. So Ice Age tells the story. You just need to know the title to know the setting, the Ice Age, where three unlikely friends, Manny the Mammoth, Sid, the Sloth, and Diego the saber-toothed cat, unexpectedly come together. When a human baby comes into their midst, they all agree to return the child to the humans. And also there's Scrap the saber-toothed squirrel, who cannot move on from his addiction to this acorn that could trigger the apocalypse at any moment. And now, happy 20th anniversary, Ice Age, and welcome to my first official movie review of 2022. Ice Age is a movie I have wanted to review on my channel for how many years, and now with Ice Age Adventures of Crap Wild streaming on Disney Plus this January, fuck you, Disney. As well as the franchise turning 20, plus it being a year ago now since Disney wrongly shut down Blue Sky Studios, I thought that now is just the right time to give my thoughts on the 4 Ice Age movies that I still have yet to cover, and and this was the movie that's officially launched Blue Sky, gave them a good reputation from the start, and showcased that they were capable of outstanding animation like Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks. And this is clearly the best entry in the Ice Age series, and always will be. I fucking love Ice Age from the bottom of my heart, and before the Peanuts movie, this was Blue Sky's best movie. And as a kid, back in 2002, this was one of my childhood movies that I would grovel at, and rightly so. It had me laughing throughout, and moved me to my heart's content. And this is by far the most mature of the Ice Age movies. I hate that the sequels went for a more childish and pandering tone. This movie doesn't need to modernize anything for the kids. It balances being both a pure comedy and pure drama expertly. And let's talk about the character that started it all, Scrat's. Sure, saber-toothed squirrels never technically existed, so his character is not based on real life, unlike the others. Yet every single scene with Scraps, especially the opening and final scene of the movie with the acorn, are comedy masterpieces. In this movie, they keep it subtle and simple, and in this movie they don't overdo it with the acorn. They keep it subtle and simple. Burying an acorn into the ground could cause an avalanche, and it could cause a volcano to erupt in real life. It's a shame the sequels went far too over the top and ridiculous by taking Scraps and the acorn into space. Sorry, that would never happen. No fucking way. But plus, Scrat is one of the classic silent movie characters, and is evidence that characters don't always need to be a chatterbox to be charming. And Manny the Mammoth, voiced by Ray Romano, may be my personal favourite character. He is one affectionate softy deep down, but in the first act of this movie, he's just damaged and worn down by the loss of his family to hunters. As revealed in the greatest scene in the movie, the cave painting scene, when Manny sees a cave painting of a mammoth family, and the cave paintings tell the story of what happened to Manny's family. If that scene doesn't make you shed at least one tear, I don't know what will. And and then Manny puts his trunk on the baby mammoth representing his child, and then the human baby touches Manny's trunk so sweetly. Then Manny's face just lights up with a warmth, and as he realizes, okay, this baby uh, proves me wrong, and not all humans are bad. And this little guy needs us. That scene is the most underrated example of show don't tell in film. And Manny, of course, was initially reluctant to return the baby because humans were the murderers of his family. But I love seeing him get over his harsh judgment of humans by bonding with the baby, and of course, John Leguizamo's Sis brilliante in every single way, and John Leguizamo rocks voicing him. Sid is sadly constantly forgotten by his family, who we meet in Ice Age 4. So that's how he ends up with Manny and Diego, and he's not only there to provide scenes that will have you laughing until your laughter's gone. He also is genuinely protective and caring for the baby. I mean, he's probably the most affectionate to the baby of all the characters, being the first to volunteer to return the baby to his herd. A herd is what they call a family in this movie, even after Manny refuses. And Diego is probably the most interesting and intriguing of the three protagonists. I have not seen Denis Leary in any other movies, but he makes Diego sound so devious and lovable at the exact same time. So props to his voice work, and Diego initially works for Soto and his saber-tooth pack. Soto wants revenge on the humans by eating the baby alive to get the humans back for wiping out half his pack and using their skin for fur coats. And the saber-tooth attack on the human village is rather brutal. And of course, when the baby and his mother escape Diego promises Soto to return the baby, but then he tricks Manny and Sid into following him back to Half Peak so that the Sabres can feast on them for dinner, but then has an immediate change of heart after Manny saves his life from the lava. When he asks Manny, "Why did you do that? You could have died trying to save me," and Manny responds, "That's what you do in a herd. You look out for each other." And Diego's like, "Oh shit, I can't kill this guy. He's family." Rarely do we see a protagonist in animated movies start out so villainous yet get such a heroic redemption arc at the end. And after Diego risked his life to save Manny from Soto, and he was initially going to be killed off at the ending, but the Blue Sky thankfully changed their minds about that when they thought of a sequel, and they thought of more for Diego to do. So all three of our trio make it to the end, don't fret. And Soto, for my taste, is one of the stronger Ice Age antagonists. I mean, he's probably second only to Captain Gut from Ice Age 4, but still, I mean, Soto is one bloodthirsty hunter. He is willing to eat an innocent baby alive and bring Manny down, and he doesn't care if he has to kill Diego to do so. I mean, Thankfully, Diego learns that his saber pack don't give a shit about him, and Manny and Sid are more family to him than his saber pack ever were. And Soto's death is shockingly violent when Manny whacks him and the icicles fall down on him, stabbing him. This movie doesn't hold back in its scenes of peril, and I love that. The designs of the Ice Age animals I think are exquisite. You've got the prehistoric armadillos to prehistoric hippos. You can see that Blue Sky and 20th Century Fox, went to museums to study the fossils of these extinct animals that once roamed the earth to get it as accurate as they could. And though they confirmed that the humans were the hardest characters in the movie to bring to life, even harder than the animals, as they had no idea how prehistoric humans would behave. On the behind the scenes at the end of the VHS tape before Ice Age, they show the animators actually, reenacting how the humans would act to give the animators inspiration. It's funny how the humans don't have any dialogue in the movie, but the animals do, and the human baby, he is just sweetest little guy, and it's a crime that the sequels have never brought him back as an adult. Why have the sequels just forgotten about the events of the first movie? And I get your criticism if you don't think the 2002 CGI animation has aged well, but personally, I think it has a better and more appealing look to it than the modern animation of the sequels. And the soundtrack by David Newman, all I and the soundtrack by David Newman is and the soundtrack by David Newman, all I can say is absolutely beautiful. With The Cave being the most emotional track of the movie. The music had to do its job there without dialogue, and it did it to perfection. And plus the opening track, the dun da da dun da 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 dun da dun da dun da dun dun, and the on my way dun da da dun 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 dun. Is it me, or has this soundtrack flown under the radar too much? It deserves far more praise, and deserve. And fun fact: Jack Black has a voice role in this movie. He voices one of Diego's Saber Pack members, and even though Manny and Sid do not confront the Saber Pack until the climax of the film, they still go and warn Diego that Soto is losing patience. So they do still keep up the threat with them throughout the movie. And even when the Saber Pack are absent, there are still some more light-hearted threats, like the two rhinos who want to crush Sid after he ate their dandelion, and Manny just owns their asses like a badass. Oh, and the dodo scene when Sid rescues the melon to feed the baby is just fucking amazing. Need I say more? I understand some might take an issue with the lack of female characters in this movie. I mean, there are still women in this movie, like the baby's mother, and there's a beautiful moment when she comes out of the river and gives the baby to Manny and Sis. Though she doesn't say a word, you can tell she is asking them, "Promise me you'll look after him and protect him for me." And Sid's two slow girlfriends in the hot tub. Yeah, they would be a pleasure to be around. But yeah, I maybe there could have been a more central female character. I mean, this was before our three leads would get girlfriends in the sequels. There are actually some solid deleted scenes in this movie that I would have loved to have seen in the final version of the movie, like when Diego tells the pack about the assault on the human village the next morning, and Sis having a girlfriend. I mean, why wasn't she in the movie? She could have come with them on the quest to return the baby. I would have rather her be Sid's love interest than Brooke in Ice Age Collision Course. But overall, Ice Age is a pure animated classic and the only masterpiece in the franchise currently. I mean, and that cave scene alone is better than all the sequels combined. And is it one of the best movies of 2002? It sure is.
I give Ice Age 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever.
So yeah, Adventures of Crap Wild is never going to touch this masterpiece, not a chance. And is Ice Age the best animated movie of 2002 for me? It's hard to say for now. I mean, 2002 was such an awesome year for film and animation. That's, I mean, how how does one compare Ice Age to Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, Lilo and Stitch, and Treasure Planets, and even Return to Neverland, the Peter Pan sequel? There's just too many favorite movies from my childhood in that year to pick from. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Ice Age? Are you with me in that it's the best Ice Age movie, or are you in the minority and do you like one of the sequels better? Please kindly let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review Ice Age 2 The Meltdown, 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and 4 Continental Drift, as well as a review Return to Hogwarts. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.